Hi, this is Benjamin Rolnick, and today I've got a very special guest that wants to be on the show to meet all of you. Professor Puff. Come here. Come here, Puff. Come here, Puff. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, come on, Professor. Okay. Introducing you all to Professor Puff. Okay, relax. This is Professor Puff. He's just been on an expedition in the Southern California chaparral, and he's a bit shy. Are you shy right now, Puff? You shy? You don't want to be on camera? Puffy Love? He looks like a little white lamb. Puffy, say hi. Say hi, Puff. Puffy, say hi. Say hi, Puff. Oh, Professor Puff! You know, some people do get stage fright. I understand that. He just wants to hang out. So Professor Puff will be conducting this interview from off camera. And if he could talk, what he'd say is, "Oh, hey, little guy. Oh, hey. So cute. He's so cute." So I've learned a lot of things from Professor Pufflefagus. And one of the things that I've learned from him, God, there's so much stuff. Okay, so here's a really interesting lesson that I've learned from Professor Pufflefagus. And, hey, there's my dad. And one thing that I've learned from Puff is that so often in relationships, whether or not they're with animals or with other human beings, people can play their trump cards. They could play their cards to get you to back off, to get you to, not engage with them. And with some people, this might look like anger, it might look like yelling at you. With some people, it might look like avoiding you, totally withdrawing, distancing themselves. With other people, it might look like crying, it might look like throwing a fit, a temper tantrum, something like that. And ultimately, when we're thinking about a dog, I'd always go to hug Puff, and he would just like back off. He wouldn't want to hug, he wouldn't want to hug, he wouldn't want to hug. And then, I'd back off, and he'd come running back. And sooner or later, I started realizing that there's really nothing as exciting as me in his life. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, I just mean that in a very honest way. What is as exciting as me, as a human being, in a dog's life? I feed him, I play with him, I pet him, I throw things. I mean, the rest of his life is consumed with inanimate objects and like looking out windows and barking at things, which is not nearly as interesting as a human being with like opposable thumbs that can go do things and speak languages and it's bigger and stronger and raised you since you were a kid. So what I started realizing was that at the end of the day, he didn't really want me to back off. He didn't really want me to not engage with him, to not love him, to not move forward, and to hug him and to kiss him. And all of his little squirming and blah was just to get me to back off, because he was communicating that, I'm afraid, or I don't trust you, or, this is scary, or I'm hurt right now, or whatever else. So, for example, if you're dealing with a parent or a brother or sister or a friend or a spouse or a boss or whoever, and they're moving towards you, they're moving against you, they're moving away from you, which is like the terms for that. So you move, towards like, well, that's, I guess, those are different shame types of behavior. Moving towards and shame is like, you're supplicating, you're pleasing, you're trying to perform for someone. Moving against is like, you're getting angry, you're, battering against them. I guess moving towards actually does fit in this. And then moving away is totally withdrawing. So moving towards is like the person who totally supplicates to you in your life. And like that's their trump card. They basically bullshit the hell out of you. And in that bullshitting, they're really being inauthentic and they're lying to you. But they just can't say no. They can't hold up their own boundaries. And because of that, they end up handing you a ticking time bomb that eventually explodes in resentment when finally, you agree with, how dumb they are, right? Or, you start taking up too much of their time, which they're giving to you, right? So many, I do this all the time. Hey, little guy. Wow, you're so cute. You're so cute. You smell like chicken. You smell like the chicken I was feeding you. So anyways, I think that that's really all I got for today. So if somebody is moving towards, away, or against you, like a dog or a friend or whoever, really the best course of action is to stay committed to what you want to create with that person. So with Puff, what I want to create with him is love. So when he backs off and he's like, don't play with me, don't touch me, I know that really all he wants is love. Isn't that right, Puff? Really all he wants is for me to pay attention to him. And his behavior is really kind of a test. It's a kick in the balls, as life will do, to see how committed I really am to creating that. And I'm committed, huh, Puff? I'm committed. Okay, so much love, many blessings, and don't back off.